Hello and welcome to another update video about oil. We want to talk about crude or the Brent crude oil first, and we take a look at WTI. So the move that we discussed 2 to 3 days ago in the last update has actually happened. So the market reacted to the already communicated resistance, and we could now be following through in this C wave to the downside into the yellow box area, into this support area between $76.12 and $82.80. We're going to take a look at that now. So first of all, we discussed that an impulse, I have to go to the 4-hour chart, we discussed that an impulse to the upside occurred between roughly May, and September. So we had a 5-wave move to the upside, and then we did highlight there are 2 scenarios we're watching. The one here is bullish, which indicates we have a wave 1 to the upside. The overall low is in. We had a wave 1 to the upside. We're now coming back in a corrective wave 2 before we continue to rally in a 3rd wave. It seems likely we go down a little lower, but the move down looks corrective. So it is currently suggesting further continuation to the upside. However, below $76, I have to change my view and have to take a more bearish stance, even though invalidation only occurs below $71.50, but below that FIB level, typically setups fail. So it's a bullish scenario we're tracking. Just be aware that below $76, that larger degree wave 2 will likely be reset lower. And we just had a corrective move up and we're coming down, but currently there's nothing in the chart that would strongly suggest that. Let's go to the 1-hour chart and let's take a look at the scenarios that we were dealing with the last couple of weeks. The idea was that off this high that was made in September, we came down in a 3-wave move in an A wave. We rallied in a B wave, and then up here around $94, we started the C wave to the downside, which is a 5-wave move and should complete the overall wave 2 correction in which we are. Basically the move that is correcting the price action that occurred between May and September. So on the way down then, we said, okay, we had a 1-2 setup. Wave 1 was between October, end of October. Well, okay, between the 20th of October and the 25th. So we had a wave 1 down. We rallied into resistance in an A, B, C structure. There was a nice potential short trade area between $89 and $91. So we'll take that off the chart. The market respected our resistance area. Then we came down, and that is basically where we were, I think, last time, in the last video. We said, okay, we came down after wave 2 basically played out. I will take some of these subwaves out as well. Don't need them anymore. And we said, okay, probably wave 3 has started. But because it's so choppy, we have to assume that this move down is occurring as an ending diagonal. So this C wave of wave 2 is an ending diagonal. So the A wave was a corrective move. The B wave played out, reacted to the golden ratio and resistance. Next short trade area worked out nicely, and we're now coming down in this C wave of wave 3. I will take that resistance area off the chart now as well. Let me take that off. And then also the orange box. Don't need them because it seems like we're coming down lower into this wave 2 area. At least that's what it seems like. So if the wave 1 played out, the wave 2 as well, then this A-B structure as well, we're coming down in wave C, which could play out as a 5-wave move, and that C wave could also be an ending diagonal. I will show you a possible micro count, but we'll take it off the chart because this shouldn't be treated as predictive. It's just how it could play out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? Basically also as an ending diagonal in wave C of 3. Talking about, okay, where could that take us? I mean, what we can do is we take the length of the A wave, we go to the high of the B wave, and the 1-to-1 ratio would be a likely target for wave C of 3. That would be around $83 approximately. Yeah. Then we should get a wave 4 and a wave 5 to the downside. So there should be a little bit of movement to go, but it could happen in a very choppy structure. Yeah. So that's sort of what I'm watching at the moment for Brent crude oil. So should still eventually go a little lower. And yeah, it seems like we are in this C wave to the downside. And what we can do is also typically with the wave 1 and 2 already in place, because it seems to be a diagonal structure, we can normally identify the key targets quite nicely. So again, the 3rd wave, just looking at the bigger picture now, they are more reliable than the A to C projections. The third wave, ideally, yeah, $81.80, if we take this way of measuring a target, is one key level, or even $80. So a third wave in a diagonal often reaches the 1.236 extension. That would be at $80. So let's see if we get there. Then we get a wave 4 pullback, corrective rally basically. And then the move to the downside, the fifth wave, could even stretch easily to around about $79 or even $77.50. All of that would be within the overall support area. Now let's take a look at WTI, which is in a very, very similar situation. Basically, again, everything I told you about Brent Crude applies here as well. Let's also take the resistances of the chart. They both generated nice reversals. And also the situation here. I mean, here, main bullish support is at $69.40. It's the same bullish scenario. Below $69, I would take a more bearish stance. But invalidation is actually down here at $63.70. If we assume also here of this wave 2 correction, yeah, the A and the B are done and we're now in wave C, then also similar story. You can see here we have the 1-2 setup complete of wave C, and that means we are coming down also in this C wave as an ending diagonal. Also here we can take the Fibonacci extension tool to identify potential targets. We take the length of the wave 1, we go to the high of the wave 2, and then the third wave should minimally reach $78.50, but better, $76.80 or even $75.88 in a diagonal. And then we should get that wave 4 corrective rally. And the wave 5 down should take us to, well, I would say at least $74.20, maybe even a little bit lower. So should take us sort of into the middle of this support area, but we're sort of halfway through, as it seems, with this C wave to the downside. So yeah, I think we have to, definitely this structure keeps us on our toes. So it's not straightforward. You have to be aware of that because we're dealing not with an impulse down, so we're dealing with a diagonal. When we're dealing with a diagonal, the subwave structures change frequently. Okay, that's my update about oil. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you're interested in daily updates about the S&P 500, also sometimes intraday updates, and if you're interested in updates about stocks, check out our stocks and S&P 500 service. Link is in the video description. We also cover the NASDAQ at the moment within this service, even though it's not officially included. So it's a bit of a bonus at the moment. We'll see. We have to review that regularly. Okay, that's my update. Thanks a lot. Enjoy your Sunday. Bye-bye.